Hey everyone, UEBS 2 Hub here, and in this battle we have 250,000 Uruk-Hai, which are modeled actually pretty well in my opinion, versus 500,000 Orcs over here with shields. Let's see who wins in this clash of Lord of the Rings units. Of course, typically in Lord of the Rings they will be on the same side, however, in this not so much. Now, for whatever reason, the modeling on the shield seems to be bugging out a little bit on the orc with shields. This is the first time it's happened. In my previous attempts at this simulation, it has not happened, so bear that in mind. It's just a little bit of a weird thing that I guess kind of has a chance of happening. Anyways, we have a bunch of Uruk-Hai that are just completely shredding these orcs. However, the orcs are still doing a good amount of damage against the Uruk-Hai, and these Uruk-Hai are standing quite a bit taller than the orcs. Holy cow! Can you imagine that? Can you imagine being an orc and you just see like all those Uruk-Hai just up there, just completely shredding all of, I don't know if you could call them your friends, but, you know, other orcs of your kind. It just looks like a gigantic wound for as long as the eye can see that way. And, for that matter, this way. Pretty damn crazy. So we already have 10% of the orcs completely wiped out. Let's just kind of go along down the line here, see if anything's changed. Typically, what I like to do is give the underdogs a little bit of a longer front. However, of course, being that or underdogs, the ones with the fewer units, but typically, you know, the orcs, they have far more units, so, of course, that just kind of is in a way to delay an encirclement, but it's not all too much at least. So as you can see here, it looks like the orcs have finally they've broken through. They've already broken through. So, and they have a pretty chunky defense, or a pretty chunky line here. So this means okay, they've actually started to patch the line. But they broke through temporarily, which is not a good sign, and it looks like they might even break through once again. But the Uruk-Hai are kind of, they are stepping in, but we already have over 110,000 orcs dead. But they are obviously chomping at the bit, because meat is on the menu tonight, boys. So that said, like, look at this front line. Look at all that Kool-Aid, by the way. It is absolutely just horrendous. And as you can see, we have this once again. An incredible amount of orcs. The orc pile is just incredible. And I suspect that if this was a little bit more accurate to real life, that this pile of bodies would be a touch taller, but I'll take it. So that said, I'm going to stop commenting for a second while we just kind of go down this line and see exactly how crazy this battle is. Now we have it at this point where the Uruk-Hai are just cutting down the orcs. I mean, this is something I don't think I've ever actually seen on UEBS 2. We have a pretty even, it looks like a wall, right? Like, you'd be forgiven if you thought that this was like some sort of a wall or like a levee or some sort of like raised area of ground, but it is not. This is just the bodies of orcs as the Uruk-Hai are progressing through. And of course, there are a few Uruk-Hai in there as well, but far more orcs that are lining that just essentially body wall. And they are cutting down the orcs from on high. This is... I've never seen that before, and it looks like actually the orcs have broken through. They have broken the line on the side. But of course, the Uruk-Hai are making it so that there is at least some sort of a resistance. We'll have to wait and see exactly what happens here. But there are not a ton of orc reinforcements to go around. So where the line is getting thin there, that means that these guys are obviously going to have to run there. And we'll have to wait and see if this turns into anything. But this could result in, at least in theory, a few more dead Uruk-Hai than not. Because, of course, if they get surrounded, that is deadly. But, like, let's look at this body pile here. Full of Uruk-Hai and orcs covered in Kool-Aid. So we have Uruk-Hai there, it looks like. That is just nasty. I mean, like, look at their... They died from drinking too much Kool-Aid. Damn shame. Damn shame. But let's just kind of go give ourselves a good look here. I mean, there are still... I mean, bear in mind, it's not like the orcs have not done anything. They have killed about half of the Uruk-Hai, which is by no means a small feat. And eventually, I mean, let me know if, like, you know, I'm not a huge Lord of the Rings fan. I've seen some of the movies. But, you know, of course, the Battle of Helm's Deep, you cannot look at that and say that was not an incredible moment in, I guess, you could say in books or also in cinema, which I guess is where most people, myself included, have been exposed to Lord of the Rings. And I might try to get that completed sometime in the future, but we'll have to wait and see. Anyways, the Uruk-Hai have broken through here, which means that we are likely to see some sort of an encirclement, albeit with somewhat depleted Uruk-Hai forces, but not too bad. But it looks like this is where the line is thinnest, and they are just pouring through at this point, with the orcs having to fill in the gaps. But these, yeah, oh my gosh, these orcs are being wiped out at this point. And it looks like it is now nighttime, I suppose, which is, I guess, a new feature of whatchamacallit. Remember, guys, freeze time. I kind of didn't take that into account, and I thought that this would be a little bit quicker, or a little bit slower of a time than it really is. But look at this landscape at night, by the way. Like, I mean, say what you will, but it's pretty damn beautiful. So here we have a battle at night where it looks like the orcs are being completely slaughtered. I mean, just look at this. But there are still a huge amount of orcs over here, you know? So let's just kind of go again what I was doing before, not commenting, just go down the line here and just see. But as you actually, you know what? Look at this. The wall of bodies that these guys are standing on has gotten even bigger. This is just incredible. Absolutely incredible. And to a point, having this being done at night almost makes it seem a bit more surreal. But again, I'm going to shut off the commentary for a second and just continue through here just so you guys can see this battle at night. Because I guess we're at night now. And here we have it. It looks like the final encirclement of the Orcs by the Uruk-Hai. The rebellion has begun. And, I mean, like, it's weird in a way, but how this game works, essentially, is that as soon... Because these guys don't get tired, right? Like, there's no stamina function in UEBS 2. So as soon as these guys are now free on the front line after fighting for however long or shaking like their swords and all that for however long, they just join the flank. And the flank gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and then the Orcs get wiped out quicker and quicker. And it looks like there is a pool of Kool-Aid where if it were slightly deeper, we might actually start seeing dead Orcs in it. But that being said, it looks like this is the end of the Orcs. Let's just go down to like this final pack of resistance here where they get cut down. And that's it. So that said, thanks so much for watching, everyone. Please like, comment, subscribe. Did you guys think that there'd be this many Uruk-Hai still alive? I didn't really... I kind of figured it might be a closer fight, but I'm still actually kind of impressed by the, by the Orcs. They did a pretty decent job considering the Uruk-Hai are a superior foe. But again, thanks so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Give me some ideas what you guys might want to see in future combat. Either way, thanks again, and I will see you all on the other side. Turns out the Uruk-Hai bleed Kool-Aid. Take care, everyone.